Or 7, transformation of quadratic graphs. So this is more graphing, more actually kind of back to section 1. So we're going to talk more about quadratic formulas in general. So we should already know, right, the standard form of quadratic formula is this. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Right, quadratic term, linear term, constant term. So what is vertex form? Well, vertex form is when you write like this. Y equals a x minus h squared plus k. Where your vertex inside opposite is h, outside follow is k. Like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go from, hey, how do you get it from this form to this form? And it's actually very simple. There's 2 ways to do it. Way 1, complete the square. And that's what you guys all want to hear. So way 1 is just complete the square. If you complete the square on this, you're going to get it in vertex form. That's way 1. Way 2 is probably the way I think most people are going to do it, and that is find the vertex. Right? And remember the way we find the vertex, nothing changes. X equals negative b over 2a. And once you get that, the way you plug it into the formula to get the y value. So your vertex is going to be negative b over 2a. Remember the way you plug that into the function? So we write it like this, negative f of negative b over 2a. That just means plug it in. Once you have the vertex, that's your h and k. Right here. And then your a is the exact same a. A is a. So that's 2 ways to put in to go from standard form to vertex form. Way 1 can be the square. I'll do a couple like that, but the way most people are gonna do it, way 2. Find the vertex, and once you find the vertex, plug it in for h and k, and the a's match. It's that simple. So let's do that. Let's put these in vertex form real quick. So again, the whole point is I want to put it in this form. Now do it the way I think most people are going to do it, which is let's find the vertex. So just like we did in section 1, x equals negative b over 2a. Will help me find the vertex. B is 4, negative 4 over a. Remember a is the number in front, so 1. So a is 1, keep that in mind. 2 times 1. So I get negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. So my x value is negative 2. So that's going to go right here. If I want to find the y value of the vertex, so my vertex right now is negative 2, right? And I want to find the y value, so I'm just going to plug that into the equation. So y equals negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 plus 6. This is 4 plus negative 8 plus 6. 10 minus 8 is 2. So negative 2 and 2 is my vertex. So this is my h and k. So h is negative 2 and k is negative, and k is 2. Again, what's the a? The exact same a. A is 1. So my equation's like this. Double negative makes a positive, and I get that right there. So that's how I write it from standard form to vertex form. You just find the vertex, and that's your h and k, and then a is the same a. So again, that's one way to do it. Another way to do it, just to show you, it's probably the only time I'm going to do it this way, you can also complete the square. So let me show you that way just for completeness. I need some room. But if you want to complete the square, remember the way we complete the square, you want to get the x's by themselves, so let's subtract the 6 from both sides. So get y minus 6 equals x squared plus 4x. And then we're going to get the middle term divided by 2 and square it. So 4 divided by 2 squared is 2 squared, which is 4. So we're going to add 4 to both sides. So plus 4 plus 4. In that case, we get y minus 2 equals, remember it's supposed to factor perfectly, x plus 2 squared. It's always the thing before you square it. And then, last thing I do is I move that over. And you get this. So that's another way to do it, right? So either way you want to do it, I don't care which way. Either find the vertex, which is honestly the way I do it. I just find the vertex and plug it in, or you complete the square. Both ways are proper. So let's do the next one just to make sure we got this. And I think find the vertex is a little easier, so we'll do that. Now again, we want to put it in this form. And a should be easy. We have a down already. A is 2, so that's going to be my 2. You just got to find h and k, so let's just find the vertex. So we use the axis symmetry formula, x equals negative b over 2a to find the axis symmetry. Watch the double negatives. So I get 2 over 4, which is 3. So the x of my vertex is 3. I'm trying to find the y value. So you just plug it into the equation. Remember, we always do this first, so it's 9. 9 times 2 is 18, minus 36 plus 17. That's negative 16 plus 17, so it's 1. So my vertex is 3, 1. That's my h, and that's my k. So my equation is 2x minus 3 squared plus 1. Alright, so that's how you put in vertex form. Just find the vertex, it's your h and k. It's like we've been doing since section 1, and then your a is the same as right there. Let's go to this one real quick. I just want to show you how you can see this one. Now look at this one. It's like an SAT question. You're just trying to match which one of these is that graph. Well, first thing I want you to notice, it's opening down. Right, so I should notice a negative ax squared because it has a maximum. So anything that's not negative is out. So these two are gone. And then, so one way you could do this is you could plug in a point to see which one works. But also, just look at it. Do you think does that look like it got a little skinnier like this one, or did it get a little wider like this one? I would say it got wider. So my answer is B. Right, if it was negative 1/4, it would be like way like this. It would be a much skinnier graph. But it actually got wider than normal, so I'm going to use that. So that's the idea. Okay, this one's interesting. We're going to go backwards. Instead of finding the equation, they give me the graph. They want me to find the equation. So they want me to find this. So how do we do this? Well, first, identify the vertex. Because that is your h and k. So if you point out what the vertex is, that gets your h and k. So right here, my vertex is this point right there. So that's h and k. So I'm actually almost halfway done. 4 and 3. Now, all I want to do is find out what the a is. And how do I do that? Well, they give us another point on purpose. Use other point. To find x and y, to find a. So this is my other point. I'm going to let that be x and y. So I'll plug that in here and here. That's going to help me find my a. Now once I have that, I'm going to rewrite it all. Once you find your a and your x, h and k, rewrite it all. So again, find your vertex, that's your h and k. You want to find the a, use the other point as an x and y to plug it in. So we're going to get this. 6 equals a, oops, sorry. A times negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7. I messed that up. It's all bad. So 6 equals a negative 3 plus 4, double negative, plus 3. This is saying 1. 1 squared is just a. Now, I see this a lot. This is 1a, right? I see a lot of people put 4a here. Like, what's going on? That's an a, that's a number. You can't do that. Subtract 3 from both sides. Come on, stick with it. A equals 3. Right, now again, the question wasn't what's a. The question is what's the equation? So I got to rewrite this. Y equals 3x plus 4 squared plus 3. Notice how you always want to leave an x and y in the equation. You always have one of those, but you do want to fill in for h and k. So that's how we do it. Let's do one more to practice, but that's the general idea of how you write an equation. All right, so let me do that again. Whoops, I don't need the answer. Y equals a x minus h squared plus k. Right, so same idea, a little faster this time. Find my vertex right there. My vertex, that's my h and k. So this is 3 and this is 0. We use the other point to help us find a. This is our x and our y. So this will be 6 and this will be negative 6. So negative 6 equals a, 6 minus 3 squared plus 0. That's just going to be 3 squared. So negative 6 equals a times 9. You want to get a by itself, so divide by 9. And a equals negative 2/3. Again, once you have that, I want the equation rewritten. So we're going to plug it all in. It's going to be y equals the a value, which is negative 2/3, x minus 3 squared plus 0. And that's how you go from equation to writing. That's how you go from graphs to writing an equation. Okay, next up, a little more review. Right, so now we know what vertex form is. That's the name for it. Hope it looks familiar. This is how we always graph, right? This is the inside x opposite. This is the outside. Outside is the y values, you go up and down, you follow. A is the kind of like the slope, right? The vertical stretch. Right? So if A is bigger than 1, it's a vertical stretch. If it's A is less than 1, greater than 0, it's a vertical shrink. Right? All stuff we've been doing since like chapter 2. So the way we graph it is the exact same idea. Find the vertex first. If we want to graph this really fast. Once you find the vertex, you can move, is it a vertical stretch or shrink? Is it opening up or down? So look at the first one here. Right, so let's find the vertex. We're just going to do inside opposite, outside follow. So my vertex is inside opposite, which is 3. Outside follow, negative 4. And you notice my A is 1, so it's opening up. And I've just give myself a little grid here. I'm going to graph this. I'm going to go 3, negative 4. And then it's opening up, so kind of like this. Now again, if I want to make it a nice graph, I could find the y-intercept or the x-intercept, but it's just a little sketch. We're just doing a graph with transformations. The next one. Right, look at our vertex. There is no inside, so x value is 0. Outside follow is 5. My A is negative 2, so it's a vertical stretch. And with a flip. Right, the fact that it's negative means it's a vert flip. It's opening down. Right, anytime it's negative on the outside means it move it up and down. So if I was going to graph it, 0, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to open down because it's negative, and it's a vertical stretch of 2. So it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, kind of like this. Let's do one more. So this right here, same idea. 1/2 x plus 6, so let's find the vertex. So inside opposite, outside follow. So we get negative 6, negative 8. My A is 1/2. This is a vertical shrink. So if I was graphing this, we go negative 6, negative 8. Vertical shrink, so it's kind of like you're going across to another one. Kind of like, it's not exactly, but we're just doing a sketch to help us kind of gauge how big it should go. That's my bad drawing right there. You're all used to it. Something to that effect. Again, if I want to make a nicer graph, I could find the y-intercept easily. Just plug in 0. I get like 36, 18. I get like, I think 2. Hey, I'm not bad. It's probably a little higher actually. But that's the idea. That's how you graph.